The last few days have been incredible. They have been crazy. August has just started and we saw Bitcoin falling in less than 3 days from $65,000 all the way to a bottom of $49,000. That is a 25% free fall that we saw in just a matter of hours. This was due to a lot of different things happening. We had Japan stock market crash, the big seven from the US stock market. They are in a bubble and they are about to burst, and the US economy isn't doing that well either. So a lot of factors that brought Bitcoin all the way to 49,000. So back on Monday, when I did that video, I actually recorded that on a Sunday, and I would have never guessed that we would have seen 49,000. But that put that I opened actually saved me a lot. So we're gonna cover how that put went, what I did right after the put, and how should we proceed with Bitcoin right now. Let's jump right into it. Welcome back. Crazy week as we're seeing. So jumping right into it, let's take a look at the charts right now. We're currently looking at the Bitcoin chart and we see that we broke below the Bollinger Bands. This is one of my favorite indicators. You don't have to use it, but I advise you to look into it to understand how the indicator works and what does it mean when we have these wiggly lines here, these things. It funneled down at the end of June, and then we have seen just a lot of selling pressure since then, which ended up in this huge red candle on Monday morning for me. These three candles here on the 4-hour chart, they were all of them outside of the Bollinger. So this usually means that there will be a correction. So when I open my put, let's go back to BitTopics right here. I think we're around 58, 57K on Bitcoin. And you can see that I paid 190 bucks and I got almost 400 out of it, just protecting my portfolio. I'm going to share the screenshot right now. At one point, we were over 250% in the green. I closed it at 166%, but this protected my BitTopics portfolio a lot. And something good about using stablecoins to trade options here on BitTopics, other places you can also use Bitcoin or Ethereum. But the good thing about having everything in stablecoins is that there was almost no movement at all on the portfolio size, which is good. But considering my full portfolio, my crypto portfolio, where I have a lot of Bitcoin and Ethereum, this protected my position a lot. So if I was going to hedge for the whole portfolio, so for everything I have, even outside of the topics, what I would have done, I would have put around 1 to 2% into these puts right here. So imagine 166% over that 1 to 2% out of my total capital that I put would have been very, very good to protect me against the fall that we saw from Bitcoin. So this one was a huge positive, just to show you how what we talked about in the video, where if you are proactive, you can protect your portfolio, you can protect your assets on by doing this. So what did I do right after? As I said, once the asset is super outside of the Bollinger Bands, what I usually do is that I wait for the correction, and that is exactly what I did. If we go here to the portfolio, I bought a call at 51,000 right at the money. So we were at 51,000 and I bought a 51,000 call. So an at the money call by end of August. So that one right now is 10% green for me. So more money in my pockets. And this one, I'm not going to hold it all the way to the end of the month. I'm going to close it around the 14th, 15th of this month. So somewhere around next week, we're going to close it together. And this one is just to get a little bit of more cash out of the correction that we saw. So from 51, now we are 54. We even touched the $55,000. So even if you go a little bit higher, if we touch the average here from the Bollinger, which is around 57,000, 56 and a half, then if I am like 50, 60% in the profit, I'll close that position just to take my profits. I don't think you should open a call right now unless you believe that we're going to go further away. So we're going to go back to the 60s. Otherwise, you don't have enough time and enough stretch to make some money out of these calls. But it is always good for you to understand what I'm doing. This is why I'm showing that to you right here. So another thing that I covered on Monday is about the liquidations that we had over $350 million liquidated. Well, on the Monday, when the video actually came out, we had over $1.1 billion liquidated. So almost 4 times the amount of money that we had when I recorded the video. We had that on the Monday. So mainly it was long positions. So a lot of people were liquidated from long positions. And now what we're actually seeing is the opposite. We're seeing a little bit more short positions than long positions. So we have around $326 million wrecked, liquidated in the past 24 hours. And most of these, almost 200 million, are from shorts and 132 million are from long positions. So you can see how we shifted a little bit, but it's still not just one-sided. We still have longs and shorts being liquidated here, which means no one knows the direction that the market will go. So this is what we should be keeping an eye on right now, on liquidation prices, on strikes where liquidation is more concentrated. So where there's a lot of positions waiting there to get in or get out. So we have to keep an eye on that. And looking back at the charts right here, what we can do if you're selling like me, if you're selling options, you need to be very careful right now, because again, from the daily chart, we are still outside the Bollinger. We could be still seeing some correction, but if we look at the 4-hour charts, we are already inside the Bollinger, and maybe we can even fall down back to the 50s. So there's a lot of uncertainty on where the price is going to be right now. So when you're selling options, take care of this situation, otherwise you would have been in trouble. Also, another thing, on last video, I wasn't able to open any positions to sell any positions, and that was a blessing, because if we had sold any positions on Monday that were puts, we would have suffered a lot from these positions. But on Monday, I actually sold a position. So if we go back to the trade history, we have right here a 45,000 that we sold. A 45,000 was actually very good, because IV was all over the place. Volatility was out of the roof. We had huge spikes in volatility, huge premiums. Everything was very expensive, which is good for us when we sell. But again, you need to take it safe. And I think at the time, Bitcoin was at 52, 51,000. And for me to sell a 45, which is very far away, and from what I could see from the charts, is that the volume was actually slowing down. So we had still a lot of volatility, but the volume itself was slowing down from orders. So that was good, and I sold that position making 1%. If you remember all my past trades, I usually make around 0.5% per day, sometimes a little bit more. When you see 1 or 4, usually we have a few days between. So you can see this is from the 21st to the 26th. This one is from the 28th to the 30th. So a little bit more than 48 hours between one and the other. And then we have 0.5%, 0.6%. This one was the call. And here we actually made 1%. So if we're going to take a look right now at the puts, let's see how it looks right now. Actually, let's take a look at the calls. By looking at the charts, let's take a look at the calls for tomorrow. For the call, let's go for a 58. Let's see how a 58 looks. So a 58, if we track it right here, a 58 is around 5% from the current price, which should be safe for a single day after the movement. We haven't seen yesterday, we haven't seen Bitcoin moving by 5%. So that should be good. Let's see what's the pricing here. 4.1. So we're going to make 779, and we'll divide that by 562, and this would bring us 1.3%. Again, this is crazy, super good, but it could be super risky. I'd much rather have this huge volatility and make a little bit less just to be safe, taking consideration that IV is so high that I can go further away a little bit more just to be safe, and still keep my goal, which is around 0.5%, maybe 1% if we're super far away in the strikes. So let's go to the 59. Let's see how 59 looks. We go for a 0.1 here. Okay, this could be closer. So we go for 367. We divide this by 556, and now we're looking at a 0.66%. Very good. So from the current price, 59,000 should be 7%, almost 7% from the current price right here. And if we go back to the daily, yesterday, Bitcoin, I don't think is going to move 7% in the green today. You can see that the volume isn't that high. Just yesterday, as the time I'm recording, was the huge volume, 4 or 5 times more than we saw the other days. So I don't think that will repeat itself. So this one is actually a good option for us. The pricing just updated, but it is still something good for us. So we click right here, we do yes, and we sold a call. So we sold a $59,000 call. We can actually mark this right here. And for the vertical, we do this for tomorrow. So now we can see here visually, it is a little bit better. We are around 7.5% from the current price, which is good. We want it to be as far away as possible. And we have around a day to wait, a little bit less than a day, a little bit less than 24 hours from the time I'm recording this video, for Bitcoin to stay below this horizontal yellow line. So as long as it stays below, it can even stay very, very close, but as long as it stays below the 59K, we're going to make that 0.6%, which doesn't sound much. But when we go right here to the calculator and you put, for example, $1,000 and you do that 0.66 that we are doing, let's say we're able to do that daily and you compound that money, meaning you're not going to take anything away for the whole year. So for the whole year, you're keeping that money, you're reinvesting that money that you make as profit. So after the whole year, 365 days, you made 1000% ROI, which is a crazy rate of return. We're not expecting anywhere near this, but 1K would have become $11,000. So $1,000 would become $11,000. So this is why I say these numbers might seem very, very little, but when you compound that, if you're able to make that 3-4 days a week, you're looking at over 200% APY. So this is the power of selling options. Even if you want to go safer, you're still able to make 50-60% on top of your money. Imagine 60% on your money is incredible. You don't see that with stocks. You don't see that with anything that is not crypto related. Maybe only on Wall Street bets where people sell Intel puts. So I hope this video was able to show the power that you have with options, how you can protect yourself. Of course, always remember that we have the copy trading section. If you don't want to be out here trading, we have the 0DTE strategies for you to deposit into. We're having a lot of people trying it out, a lot of people saying that they're making money, new people joining in every day. You can see the number go up, but we want to hear from you what we need to figure out, what we need to update here on Bitopics to make sure this is the go-to place for you to trade your crypto options. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll be waiting for you guys on Friday so we can see how the market is by then. So thank you so much, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.